Welcome to the Driven to Succeed Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Olson. And today I got some special guests, Carrie and Wade Owen. Thanks for coming on the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
A little bit about Carrie and Wade. You've been in real estate now. You just joined in the Pemberton brokerage,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
And you started your own brand, the Butterfly Effect Realty.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And we're going to get into that in a little bit here. But first, I wanted to just kind of talk to you guys about your journey to getting to where you're at today. So, Carrie, let's start with you.
Okay.
So you started what in 2013?
Yeah.
And you got licensed in 2013.
Yep.
And you started with doing more of the property management, right?
Yep. So I started with rentals. So basically, I started with a company that had purchased a bunch of properties that were going into foreclosure, short sale, and then they flipped the properties, and then basically they gave them to us to list and then rent out throughout the entire Twin Cities. So we started with 2 agents. They grew all the way to like 24 because they had so many properties. And then eventually they went all the way back down in like a two-year time frame. And then I was one of the last 2 agents, which basically handled the whole north side of the cities, northwest. And then the other agent did the southeast.
Right on. And that was all rentals. So you grew, and then they just start selling the homes
Yep.
and contracting a little bit?
Well, so for that company, eventually they just kind of kept making some changes, and I just decided that I wanted to make a change. So I went into property management then at that time. So I worked with a company because I wanted the ability to also sell, but then also, do a little bit more. So I did do that for a little while. However, it wasn't, once you kind of start doing rentals, a lot of people just kind of continue to use you for rentals. So I ended up having a lot of property management or properties that I managed. And so with this company, I literally managed the properties. So like when something was wrong with the property, I was the one showing up. I was the one diagnosing the problem. It just got to be like, I don't want to be, talking about why there's, woodpeckers attacking the side of this house and figuring out a solution for it. So I decided like, no, this isn't for me. And actually one of the guys that was at the other rental company when I started the rental, he reached out to me and had joined a builder, and he's like, hey, you should check this out. Have you ever thought about, going into new construction? And he's like, I can put in a word for you. So I was like, sure. He's like, the only caveat is you're going to work every weekend.
Right.
So like without a doubt. So I was like, sure, yeah, why not? So that's how I got into new construction. So then I ended up going into new construction in 2016. So I had been in new construction with national builders since 2016 until just making this change now. So
But you got a ton of experience with that. I mean, you've seen everything on all sides of the coin then, right?
Yeah, we've seen like, in the beginning when I first started out, it was a little bit just more like a normal market and kind of like, and with the first builder that I was with for a little over 6 years, it was more to be built. So like basically I would take you from the very beginning of it. We'd go walk a lot. So I'm very good at like knowing where lot markers are, where to find stuff. So surveys, that kind of thing. So I'd go out, I'd walk the lot with you. We'd go find the perfect lot. We'd go back, we'd pick out a floor plan. We were going to add items. We're going to send you the design center. We're going to start building your house. And then I'm going to basically hold your hand through that entire process, giving you updates, telling you what's happening, taking pictures of the home so that you stay involved, doing a walkthrough with you so you feel confident in what you're getting. And so that was with the first builder. And I did that for over 6.5 years. So then I transitioned to another, even the largest builder nationally. And so they did to be built when I first started because of COVID. And so that's kind of when I decided to make my change. So from the other company, it was taking, because it was all to be built, it was taking over 13 to 14 months to build a home. So it was getting a very long process. So I don't also get paid until
Great.
until that home is finished. So it was just like I had this extremely large backlog, and luckily I was working in a 55 plus community that they were building, which was awesome. I loved the community aspect of that, and I loved the demographic buyers that I was working with there to build that community. But again, it was like taking a very long time. So I decided to make the transition to a builder that was also doing, at that moment, it was just inventory. So basically there's a time, like every stage away, like, so if you came in and you needed a house right away, we had something ready right away. If you needed something in 3 months, we had something under construction that could fit that as well. So, and then eventually, as the craze went down from COVID, they just had started doing Tubi Bills again. So then again, I went back. So I had, the nice thing with that is I had inventory, as well as Tubi Builds. And then they recently, now builders have made it so that you can sell anywhere. So you're not just sitting in one neighborhood, but I could literally sell like anywhere in the Twin Cities that they had a storefront. So, and I think I was one of the first to even sell a Tubi Build in a whole nother community elsewhere, where I'm, showing them from start to finish, like, here, we're picking out this lot, I'm going out there, doing pictures with them, because this person happened to be in another state even. And I'm like showing them, like, here's your lot, here's what this is, and going over it. So yeah, so it was really cool to be able to, like, so I don't just have focus in one area. Like, I've
You
moved
got a
on.
lot of valuable experience with that. I mean,
Oh yeah.
that's why both sides of the coin, the rental experience, showing people homes that were flipped, right?
Mhm.
And probably all different rent ranges to be built in all different price ranges as well, and age groups. If you're in the 55 plus,
Yeah.
right? And then with the last company you were with, that was
Yeah.
that was everything.
Everything. Yeah. Townhomes, entry level homes, to, our biggest product that we had. So, and it's just really about, like, supporting the people. And I felt like I've always been really good at guiding people and helping people, like, because it's a big, big decision to, especially when you're building it too. It's even like, there's so much more involved. I mean, I have people that, like, this one story in particular, this family, they built their home, and we went out and we walked on the lot, and the name of the street was Gia. And in their culture, that means home. And so he was building his home for his family, and, we were envisioning it on the lot. And then when the home was all finished, like, it was so awesome. Like, he comes walking into my office, and, I go to, like, congratulations, shake his hand, and he, like, just, like, grabs me and, like, pulls me into this bear hug, and he's, like, crying. He's like, thank you for making this possible for my family. And his wife is, like, kind of embarrassed, like, oh my goodness, and, like, but it was such, like, it's those moments. That's why I do what I do. Like, it gives me chills about helping people like that. Like, it just really does. It just means so much. And I've been able to be a part of that for a lot of people, like with the to be built process. But even, there's folks that, build a little bit sooner, and it's just the same thing, the stories that I've
Right.
seen, and helping them.
That's one of the most amazing things that I love about the process, on the lending side too, because a lot of people don't know that they can afford a home, right?
Hmm.
And it's a big undertaking. I mean, right now they said the median age for a new first-time home buyer just hit 40, which is
That's really
crazy.
good.
Now, I have plenty of ones that I am doing in their 20s, but for the most part, it's very hard for most people, and depending on what there is. But yeah, you have those, at closings, you know, the other just a couple weeks ago, I had one, and she was just like, "You're the lifesaver. I never thought I could do this. Just never thought this could happen." So having those experiences, making that it is very special.
Oh, yeah. It definitely is.
Yes, awesome. And Wade, so you've been in and around the industry for 7 plus 8 years, right?
Yep.
And then
Yeah. Yeah. My journey started a little differently,
yeah,
kind of more so on the construction side of things. I was that guy knocking on your door, interrupting dinner, trying to sell you a new roof for your house.
right,
So that's kind of where I started this journey into real estate. Did that for a handful of years, and then I recently switched over to, now I'm currently a sales manager for a company here in the metro that does multifamily and commercial building maintenance services.
hmm,
Um, and that's been fun. Another great way to see different things. But
sure,
in doing that, she had her license, but she was working with national builders. We had some family and friends reaching out wanting her to help. She couldn't do it.
right.
So I got my license so I could help them. And yeah, now here we are with
Here,
with a whole new initiative and
yep.
drive for a whole new purpose for really keeping this going.
Right, and that's awesome, specifically when you have your each other as a team. And you've
Mhm.
been doing
Yeah.
that already for a
Right.
couple of years, and that works out fantastic. I've seen really successful teams that way. So I'm looking forward to seeing your guys' growing success. Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about one of the coolest things I've seen in real estate from a team aspect in a long time. And I've seen a lot of different things, but you have this whole initiative, and why you named your brand the Butterfly Effect. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about your initiative and talk about the Butterfly Effect Realty.
Yeah, so with Butterfly Effect Realty, it kind of came to me where I wanted to like make a butterfly effect, like a ripple of change within the community and like support the community. So while giving back. So we came up with the Homes for Heart initiative. So I'm super excited about it, and it really comes from the heart as well, because we wanted to give back. We wanted to make change for the good. Like, we need more good in the world.
Oh, 1,000%. I mean, it's you don't even want to turn on the news these days, right? So
Trying to
we need to have these kind of, like, I wish news would just have focus more on this kind of stuff,
right.
but that's what we're here doing this for. So Homes for the Heart, let's talk about like what this means, because this is a big initiative. I've seen people like, we do $100 per closing and we do, a couple $100, but what is your amount that you're
Yeah, we're going to do $1,000. So $1,000 from any home we sell or help buy closed. We are giving $1,000, and 500 of those are going to go to NAMI, so National Alliance on Mental Illness in Minnesota, and then the other 500 is of the client's choice. So NAMI itself is personal to me, and I have had loved ones that personally that have struggled with mental illness. And I've even written about it on my Facebook page and have a story on there. But then we also know not everybody's journey is the same. Not everybody has the same story or the same situation. So that's why the other 500 is of the client's choice. So maybe you had someone that struggled with cancer or Alzheimer's or whatever it is that, is important to you. We want you to make the choice. Like if mental health is also it and you want to give more back to NAMI, that would be awesome. However, it might be something completely different, and we want to support that as well. Just any way we can like cause a ripple in our community.
Right.
Oh, good.
I think it's beautiful, number one. So thank you for coming up with it and setting that. I think many more teams and brokers should do things like this. So good work at getting I'm hopefully that you're going to get a big foothold with this. This is why we want to get your name out there to do that. Now, how do people, when you do it, like, do you have, like, do you just offer like, here's a form to select, possible charities or what you want to do?
So what we'll do is we'll find out what's important to them, and then we'll look into it too. And even if they know like how to get in contact, because I mean, again, all charities can be different. It could be we want to like let them pick, as long as it's like like a company that is going and working towards giving back to others. So supporting other things. So if it was like a support group that is, supporting people, with substance abuse or something like that. So, and that was where they wanted that to go, then we would, they can help us get in contact with them and then help, set that up so that when the closing is finished afterwards, and we do have our own website that we're still currently building, but it should be active fairly soon. And we're going to like, as this progresses, we will put like kind of like a diagram on there to show like the difference that we're actually making, and then also share that. So, where it is that we're giving the money back to. So it's like a real thing, because I want people to like, the coolest part would be to see that thing just like light up, right? And to fill up. And so that we're giving back to a lot of places that then can continue to be able to support their causes so that they can make more resources available, make more things available for the people that are using them.
Yeah, it's like any other program. You have to have the money coming in to keep it going and supported. Yeah. So talk a little bit more about NAMI. Like, you are on the board,
yep,
right?
I'm on NAMI Hennepin County, so I've been on the board for 3 years. And so we've been working on different initiatives to, bring awareness, do support, different things like that in the community. And we're always looking for more ideas. But one of the things is, of course, funding, right? And so we're like, what can we do to get some funding? And so once we made the change, you're like, gosh, this would be really great to give back to NAMI. But NAMI has really supported me in my time of need, so, I have a son that has mental illness. And so while I was going through that, I was able to access their resources and find support groups and things like that. And so they've really provided a lot of information on it. I mean, 1 in 5 American, like in the U.S., experience some sort of mental health in their lifetime, and so I want people to know that they're not alone. Like my idea is like that we like bring awareness to it, reduce the stigma, like start advocating for things to help people, like so we can find more research on the brain to figure out what's happening. And like since I've like posted my story and shared what I'm doing, I've had so many people reach out and just like share, their own stories and what they're going through. And it's like I think that people just don't realize that there's so many people that are going through the same situation. And it's really, I want people to know they're like, hey, you're not alone. And
There's resources.
yeah, and there's resources that we can, like we could access. And
That's the biggest thing. I mean, mental health problems is one of the, in my opinion, one of the hardest things because people don't want to talk about it, right? I mean, it's hard to talk.
Yeah.
It's really hard to talk about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, let alone just going to find the resources for it and knowing somebody else or, whatever other programs there are, just not having that. So by getting that name, because to be honest, I've never heard of it, right? Until I saw your post, right? And that's why I was like, I have to invite you guys on. Like, you have to come on. Because I really wanted to get that out there because I know people in my family, numerous, ones have had issues. So every family does. And that, and if you think there's a perfect family out there, it's rare to see that. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah. And if you think about 1 in 5 people in the U.S. having some sort of mental health crisis or condition, everybody you know has been touched by it.
Right.
I mean, really, realistically. And I think that's another big piece of this too, is being able to make the resources more available for people. Because it wasn't easy for you to find the support that you needed when you were going through that. And like seeing that struggle in and of itself, beside what is going on, like just making the resources known and available for people is
100%.
a huge piece. Yeah.
I mean, because they don't, they don't have the resources to pay to get marketing out there because it costs a lot of.
Right.
So it's got to be grassroots level.
it is
type of stuff.
grassroots. It's exactly what their philosophy is. Like we're grassroots where we're trying to like, hey, bring this to knowledge to people. So I mean, and mental health can be anxiety, it can be depression. It's like that's why it's it's just it's a lot of things, right? So it's not just like the big things. It can be just struggling and just why is right now, and it could be seasonal too, or
Right.
situational.
And it's only gotten worse in my opinion over the years, and social media has
Social
not
media,
helped.
yeah.
It's really doesn't. So hopefully this going on social media brings more access to that, more light showing. So that's really is awesome. So you do have a website that's coming.
Yeah.
And what is the name of that website going to be?
ButterflyEffectRealty.com. Yep.
Awesome. Pretty straightforward.
Yep. Yeah, perfect. It was available.
Yep.
So it worked out.
Yeah, just when I don't know, I just had a real vision for this. It sounds weird, but I did. And that's why our butterfly's green, because of mental health. So mental health is typically the green ribbon or whatnot. So yeah, and I don't know, I just see butterflies and wanting to again make a change. Like, so it's a transition. Same with housing, same with going through life. Like it represents transition.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chapters.
Yeah.
Real estate, always a new home.
New
There's
beginning.
a new beginning.
Yeah.
New chapter. Yep.
That kind of go. I don't know. They kind of match.
Yeah. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about any of the market conditions right now, or what you see coming up?
So, I mean, there's still a lot of, the market is picking up, right? So there's definitely people out there. I mean, as we know, rates have gone up a little bit. So there's always, pause for hesitancy there. I mean, some of the clients that I've been talking to recently are still, in that space where they're like, I have this rate. But I'm like bursting at the seams in my house. Like, how do I, wrap my head around the fact that now I'm going to pay this, when it's actually a need. So I'm still seeing a lot of that. And just people, wanting to get, like they're looking, but they're still kind of battling that
Yeah.
rate stuff. And
Do you ever have any of those clients think about renting their house out?
yep. Yeah,
So
yeah,
they
that's
could-
actually literally I'm thinking of somebody in specific right now, but yeah, they were like, okay, I think I'm gonna rent it out and then
Help subsidize the new payment.
yeah,
So-
absolutely. So it wouldn't make sense to add on to that house,
Right.
so on and so forth. So yeah, I've had a lot of people are wanting to like, I feel like they want to have payments. They're like, where are we at? What is the payment? That's where you come into play.
Mhm, right. That is where I come into play. And a lot of times, what I love about the business on my side, when I came from the car industry, it was always, how do we, we're selling a car, how do we upsell them on everything else? Because that's what cars business does, right? In the home, in the home finance, we're always trying to find how do we finance the homes the best we can for them to make it affordable. What programs do we offer? So we have, SWBC, we have a grant program that's really awesome. Like in the Twin City Metro, if you have $105,000 income or less, you can get the grant, and you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. You can own a house. Like right now, I've done numerous ones where we're selling a house, we still get the $5,000 grant. We're only putting it in one person's like using one person's income and allowing to purchase the new home and giving them free money.
Oh, that's
So finding things like that, looking at different ways to help people, because I mean, 3/4 of a point of interest can make a big difference on the price of home
Oh, yeah.
that you can buy. The affordability.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
I know. I used to run, estimates for people. So
Yeah.
I was a little mortgage calculator that was like, this is just an estimate. You got to talk to your mortgage person.
Right.
But
Right.
here it is. And people buy off of payment. I mean, when it really comes down to it, right? It
Sure.
comes down to payment,
Yep.
like what can I really afford in my monthly payment? Because that's going to make a difference.
Yep. That's more than anything. And right now, we're probably going to see lower rates in the future. We got a little volatility right now. They did go up with current, world activity. But hopefully, knocking on wood, that we're going to see this get solidified here soon and settle back down and come back down. But all I know is right now we are in March. April's right around the corner. When this airs, probably going to be April. But most of the homes over the last couple of weeks, whatever price point it is, it's still multiple offers, right?
Yeah.
But with that being said, I've also had numerous homes still get closing costs and things paid by sellers. So there is that activity. I've had so many people recently too that all of a sudden I get a call like, hey, we want to put this offer on this house. I'm like, well, we need the application that we talked about 2 months ago. So,
Right.
yeah. So any advice that you have for buyers and sellers is talk to me first, talk to a finance person first, so that, because I've literally this week we missed out on 2 homes because, they had been on the market for 30 days. And guess what? Now there's 2 offers by the time you got pre-approved.
Right. And they didn't,
Yep.
I always try to do that. And I guess I've always done that before because I'm like, hey, like we want to know, like, well, it's nice to know what you can actually purchase. So we're not looking at things that I won't be able to, don't want to fall in love with the home and then you can't have the home.
Right.
So at the same point in that same situation, right? Like all of a sudden now we've been looking for a little bit and the home finally, the home of your dreams comes available and
Just not ready.
shoot, I didn't get prepared for it and now I'm
Yeah.
able to get it. And so
Yeah, I just had a guy that I talked to last fall, and he wanted, the property had to have a big enough 3-car garage to put a simulator in. He's a golf pro.
Yeah.
So he had to have, and they had to have like a shed in the back, blah, blah, blah. He had to have these things in this certain area. Popped up. It was on the market for 30 days. Talked to him, said, get the stuff together. We did. And before we decided to put the offer in on Monday, and an offer came in Sunday night, and it was, let's do everything on the weekend. So if we would have just did it in time, we probably would have got it.
Yeah.
So there's many times where that just perfect scenario is no longer there.
right.
And now who knows when the next home that's going to have
Right,
to
when the
meet
next
those,
one is
check
gonna-
those boxes off.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So long story short, people need to speak with you.
Yes.
They need to speak with a lender.
Yes.
Um,
Absolutely.
And I really hope to drive some business to you guys because of your initiative.
Thank
I'm
you.
looking very much forward to seeing your success. Very happy for you to make this transition. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it in the future. So, everybody out there, if you like this initiative, I don't know how you can say no to it. There you go. Look at, so we got the branding.
Yes.
Please contact Carrie and Wade, the Butterfly Effect Realty. I will have all their information below. Please like and subscribe. Carrie, Wade, thank you guys for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so
for having
much.
us.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're looking forward to working with you and everybody else that is ready to make a ripple of impact in the community. So we're
Awesome.
helping you move forward while giving back.
I love it.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.